Welcome to Empowered. I'm Elizabeth Nomofsky. Today's episode is about your children and your money. Parents have many questions when it comes to educating their children about money. When do you start talking to them about money? What about a potential gift or inheritance? And how might a significant gift impact your children socially, economically, and actually their relationships? So to help us understand how to transition wealth to the next generation, I'm joined by Julia Chung, senior financial planner at Spring Planning and family business consultant at Trella Advisory Services. Julia, thank you so much and welcome to Empowered.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
I am too. And I have to say, I mean, this happening right now was because Carrie Taylor had put a question on Twitter, and there were a whole bunch of us within this question. And you chimed in, and I chimed in, and here we are. And you are so passionate about this topic that just can't wait to just keep asking you question after question. So let's begin. Um,
Sounds great.
when does it make sense to start talking to kids about money and finance?
As soon as possible. It's a really big part of everything we do every single day. And I know it can feel really uncomfortable for some people to try and find a formal way to talk to their kids about money. But the reality is that you're dealing with money every single day. And if you're not talking to your kids about it, you're actually choosing not to. So it's really valuable to bring it into the language of everything that you're doing throughout the day. You go to the store with your kids, you order delivery, takeout, you're paying for things all the time. So you can start immediately showing children how money works.
You know, it used to be taboo to talk to your kids about money or talk about it at the kitchen table. But, you know, we are both firm believers that this is really important. But what happens if you have to catch up? So if you haven't spoken to your kids about finances and money, and now they've reached a later stage, how do you catch up?
Well, and it can be really difficult to feel like you're ready. And I think that's one of the big things for people who aren't as comfortable with talking about money as you and I might be. This is what we do all day long. But for those people who are still feeling a bit taken aback and they're like, oh, I think I need to talk to my kids about money now. And they've maybe set up something formal and they're like, oh, okay, now I'm going to be like a teacher. Don't do that. The biggest thing you can do is start just feeling comfortable with money yourself. Start learning. Pick up a couple of books, talk to a great financial advisor, start learning something you think is interesting. When you get interested and you start talking about it, despite how they behave, your kids are interested. They're listening, they're paying attention. Start catching up by starting to include them in the conversation, treating this like something you're interested in learning about, that we shouldn't be afraid of, and you're asking questions, they're asking questions. Let's get the conversation going. Start to make it comfortable.
Okay, so now I'm in a position where I'd love to be able to give my kids some money during my lifetime. Does that make sense for the kids and for me? Or,
Some
or sorry, wait, or should I wait until the end of my lifetime?
Yeah, and the answer is always that financial planners of, well, that answer of that depends, right? And the right answer is the one that fits for you. I always say for parents who are looking to give to their kids, and I do find that Canadians love to give money to their kids. Uh, I think you need to first think about, what do I need to be okay? And then what's really possible. The timing of the gift has to be really dependent on what's possible and achievable for you as a person. And then how is that going to work for your child at the life stage that they're in, and their psychological space and their emotional space, and what they really need right now. Those bits of timing are going to be unique to you.
Okay, so we only have about 30 seconds left before we go to break, but I want to talk about, what do I need to think about before I decide how much I can give and when?
The big thing is to start with yourself. Really go through and get a good in-depth, comprehensive financial plan where you understand how much money you need to be okay, cover your needs, and then see what might actually be available to be left to give.
Okay, so when we come back, we're going to talk more about gifting to your children, who to speak to. Why is this important? Because nobody wants to have surprises along the way. So please don't go away. We'll be right back with more with Julia Chung.